What are you trying to accomplish and what makes you happy?
It ain't about the money. It's not about the brand. It's not about any of that. It's about, did I move the people?
Oh, yeah. Oh, this feels amazing. What? Oh, yeah.
What is going on in here?
Oh, I'm whacking away.
Rob!
Whacking my hairs away with the Weed Whacker trimmer from Manscaped. Did you know this baby has skin-safe technology to reduce painful tugs and snags? And it's waterproof. Now, if you don't mind, Camille, a little privacy.
Welcome back to the Final Shot Podcast. Today, the show is brought to you by USG Canada. They make some of the finest combat sports gear in the game. You can contact my boy Howie at usgcanada.com and order some stuff. Or you can go to their new fancy website, usgfightgear.net. Use the promo code The Final Shot, and you'll save 20% on your purchase. Our second sponsor of the day is also on that website, usgfightgear.net, Sovereign Extracts. Whether you like to get high as giraffe pussy or you like to use CBD oil as a medical treatment. My guest today just fucked me up because she started laughing. But you guys can hit up Sovereign Extracts on there. Use the promo code The Final Shot and you'll save some money on your purchase. Guys, TKO Beards is some of the finest beard products I've ever put in my beard. Beard oil, beard conditioner, beard wax. You can use the beard wax as mustache wax if you really want. But it's tkobeards.com. Use the promo code The Final Shot and you'll save some money on your purchase. We're also brought to you by Onnit. If you're not on it, get on it at onnit.com/TFS podcast. You use the /TFS podcast and you're going to save 10% on your purchase. It don't matter what you buy on there. Alpha Brain, Shroom Sport, fucking maces, battle ropes, kettlebells, elk bars. They got camping cups on there. Don't be stupid. Go to onnit.com/TFS podcast and make a purchase. Who else we got? The Clinch Fight Shop in Edmonton, Alberta. They are the best fight shop in Alberta, in my opinion. Hit up my boy Sunil. Go to theclinchfightshop.com. Use the promo code The Bad Guy, and you're going to save some money on your purchase. Guys, my guest today is a very young female, just turned boxer. Well, not a little while ago. She used to be a Muay Thai kickboxer. She's signed with one of my favorite promotions. I have them on here all the time. Eye of the Tiger Management. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Bree Howling. How's it going?
Great. How are you?
You're very smiley today. You happy to be on?
Yeah, I'm having a good time today. I'm finally down after moving, so I'm just chilling.
Have you ever done a podcast before?
No, I don't think I've done a podcast. Lots of interviews, but never a podcast.
Interviews are a pain in the ass, and I don't like to call these interviews.
No, usually my interviews end up being like 3 to 4 minutes, and most of the time they don't even ask questions about me. So I'm like, sick. This was fun. And then I'm like, okay, moving on with my day. I'd prefer to talk for an hour.
This will be a lot longer than 4 minutes. It'll be an hour. So
Perfect.
You've listened to a show before?
I have, yeah.
Fantastic. So you know what you're in for then.
Yeah, I do.
All right. So you're going to make your debut with Eye of the Tiger Management April 17th. That's a very big thing for you.
Yeah, it's, to be debuting on the card that I'm debuting on, that's absolutely amazing. And not to mention, I get to go out with my team. I get to go out with Steve. So that just makes work fun, basically. Like, we're all going to travel together. We're all just excited to go. So I don't know. In a way, it's kind of like a little vacation.
So when Eye of the Tiger contacts you and they say, hey, we want to sign you, what's going through your head?
Well, I had a couple offers from a few management companies and promotional companies. But I had always in the back of my head wanted to sign with Eye of the Tiger. So I was super timid about signing with these other promotions. And I just stayed patient and knew what I was worth and who I wanted to be promoted by and to represent. And for them to then, you know, after a couple months of me visualizing that happening and it happening, I was like, holy shit, okay, we're doing it. I was like, damn, dreams do come true. So I'm super pleased and very lucky and fortunate.
As you made your professional debut with Mike Short in the Dakota promotion, correct?
Yeah, I did.
How was that?
It was good. Yeah, I mean, for me to get on a professional show, I didn't have any amateur record in boxing. So he gave me an opportunity to come and debut with Dakota, and I did my first 2 fights with them. So yeah, he was nothing but great. Local shows, obviously, so a little bit smaller scale, but I honestly had the expectation that I would probably be doing many more local shows than I have. And now obviously that step up has happened and we're moving on to bigger and better things already. So I'm not mad about it.
Oh, Dakota, they put on good shows. They focus a lot on the production side of things. I was actually signed to fight with them a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, I blew my knee out and I wasn't able to do that. Then we had a pissing contest online and I feel like I won that. Mm-hmm. And they got mad at me. So then they didn't talk to me for a really long time. And then Mike Short called me one day and we made up. So we're cool now. But I do like Mike and Dennis Herman. They do good stuff over in Calgary. Yeah,
they do a good job with what they've got.
Yeah. I didn't really like that small venue they went to, though.
Yeah, the Deerfoot Inn and Casino is a tight fit.
Yeah.
I've fought there quite a few times, even when I fought in Muay Thai. And I don't know what the exact capacity is, but usually it's only a couple hundred people and it's like a suffocating room. So yeah. Definitely tight knit and good in non-COVID times. But now, like, it's not even possible to hold those Dakota shows here just because that's the main venue, right?
Yeah. It gets too hot in there too. I don't like that many people in a small confined
muggy
space, right?
Fighting on each other.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. So tell me about your opponent. Do you know much about your opponent coming up?
I know a little bit about her. Typically, especially at the beginning of my career here, there's never really a lot of tape on anybody or a lot of information. She's probably got the most out of all the opponents I've fought thus far. She's from Mexico, but she lives in Montreal. She's got 12 fights under her belt. She's 5, 6, and 1. And I've watched some tape and the team has watched tape and we've done a lot of research and we've already been applying ourselves for weeks and weeks in camp. So I mean, this sounds cocky and I like to keep myself humble, but I have no concerns.
Her name is Erica Hernandez, right?
Yes.
So when I pull up a record and it says 5, 6, and 1 and it is a Mexican boxer, I usually go by what the end one is, and that's going to be the 1, and that's a draw.
Right.
This chick comes to fight then, because obviously somebody gave her probably something that she won.
Yeah.
And then they scored it a draw. So it's going to be a tough fight, and it's a good fight for you, actually. I like it.
Yeah, I think the styles match up pretty well, and she definitely, like, she's never been stopped. So that's something that I'm looking for because I want to get rounds under my belt. That's what I want for the next couple fights. I also only have 4 rounds to do it, 4 2-minute rounds, which I have an opinion on. But
let's hear it.
Yeah, well, so my first fight I fought 4 2-minute rounds. My second fight with Dakota, I was able to fight 3-minute rounds. I was the first Canadian female to fight 3-minute rounds professionally. And honestly, I didn't notice the difference between the 2 minutes and 3 minutes because I trained 3-minute rounds. Yeah. So I'm to that. But I suppose with different commissions around Canada, the 3-minute round thing for females has not been caught up on with other commissions. So fighting in Quebec City, their commission is not privy to be doing 3-minute rounds for the females. So I have to take 2-minute rounds and I'm only allowed to do 4 just because I haven't had 5 fights yet.
Hi, Kat.
So I could easily fight. I mean, I train with Steve Claggett.
Yeah.
I spar him, 8 to 12 3-minute rounds. We work constantly. I don't have a problem with gas tank. I don't have a problem with pushing the pace. Yet, because I don't have 5 fights, the commission won't allow me to do more than 4 rounds, and I can't do more than 2 minutes. So I'll take what I can get, but 2 minutes is a sprint, and 4 rounds is it's 8 minutes of time for months of preparation. So I definitely have to figure out what my plan is going in with such a fast paced fight, which I have no problem with. I know how to push the pace, so it'll be good.
So here's a story about, I come from a mixed martial arts background. So I trained at Zuma Martial Arts in Vancouver, BC, or not Vancouver, sorry, Victoria, BC. I used to train with a lady. Her name was Sarah Kaufman. Sarah Kaufman fought for months to get 5-minute rounds for females in MMA. They were only allowed to do 3-minute rounds forever. So a normal mixed martial arts fight for a man is 3 5-minute rounds. She wanted the same thing. She fought and fought and fought until she finally got it when she fought for Strikeforce against Liz Carmouche. And they changed. Now every female fight you see in MMA is 5-minute rounds. So keep fighting, man. You'll get it. Yeah.
I'm going to keep pushing the commissions. Obviously, I'm going to be respectful because
fuck that.
They're sanctioning that. Maybe it's because I'm Canadian tenor. But I mean, you can't play too dirty with them. But right now, I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to speak up, though, stand tall about what I want. And eventually, I think things will change. It just is going to take a little bit of time.
So when you get let's say a top rank card, and you've got 7 fights on the card. Every one of them's, let's say, 6 3-minute rounds, 8 3-minute rounds, 10 3-minute rounds, and then your main event is 10 2-minute rounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. No matter what, I think even if you're at the beginning of the card, middle of the card, you're fighting the main card, for any female, we should all be treated the same as the males in boxing. Mm-hmm. We should all be given 3-minute rounds, whether that's 4 3-minute rounds, 6, 8, 10, 12, if you're fighting for the championship. It should all be the same across the board. We all train the same, we all push the same, and we bring the same talent. So give us the stage that we need and that the males get, and let us perform.
Exactly.
Why should it be any fucking different?
Well, it doesn't make any sense to me, because if I'm going to go fight somebody in my weight class, they're going to be the same size as me. Maybe not, who knows, with weight cutting and all that kind of shit. But they're the same gender as me. They have the same bone density, we're the same. Mm-hmm. Right? You're not going to fight me. You're not going to fight a dude. You're going to go fight another female that trains the same amount as you, that weighs the same amount as you did the day before. So why not?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Makes no sense.
I understand if it's maybe they don't think we have the gas tank for 3 minutes, or you're trying to protect athletes from that extra minute of impact. I don't know. We're getting that impact in training, though. We're training the 3 minutes. We're overtraining for the 2-minute rounds. So it's not like it's the first time we're being exposed to this shit, right?
Yeah.
So
we're
dudes taking training than we are in the fight.
With guys.
Yeah. I only train with guys. So I'm used to training with people, much heavier than me, but you won't let me go 3 minutes with this chick who's my size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't make sense.
I sit over here and keep sprinting for 2 minutes and whatever, man.
Whatever. At least you get in there and do the damn thing. But I did get a chance to sit down and watch a couple of your fights. You don't fuck around.
I try not to.
Dude, you go. You got some skills. I like it. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, when I watch my own tape, I guess this is everybody, but it always pisses me off. And I've come a long way since that last fight in February. I mean, COVID's been shit for everybody, but I see it also as a positive thing. I had over a year of straight training camp with Steve Claggett. I am a completely different fighter from what I was in February. And that's super fucking exciting, because I'm now going to be debuting on such a big stage with the best version of myself against a pretty formidable opponent. And there's nothing more exciting than that, to kick off my career with them. And I feel like this is me really kicking off my pro career. Before it was kind of, you know, learning the ropes with boxing coming from Muay Thai. And now it's time to really go and put my foot on the gas.
What would be, because your opponent's not going to understand a fucking word that we're talking about.
You know what? I think she speaks English.
Okay,
like
well,
she's married to, do you know Jessica Camara?
No.
She's she's another pro female boxer,
Okay.
At a higher weight. She's fighting, who's she fighting? She's fighting the chick from Brooklyn. Oh my God. I can't even remember. She's the person she's fighting has fought Amanda Serrano.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's 7-2. She's a pretty good female boxer, and they're married. So I think they live in Montreal together. So she must have learned English at this point.
Okay. So this Mexican female lives in Montreal.
She does. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I guess that's where Jessica Camara trains out of, in Montreal. So
Okay.
they live there.
That's
I guess I've been doing much research. Shit.
Yeah, that's interesting to me. I wonder if they speak French.
I think they both just speak English, but maybe they know some French.
Okay,
More French than.
I'm not going to ask the question I was going to ask then.
Oh shit!
Fuck her.
All right.
She can figure it out on fight night. What do you feel is your biggest asset when you walk in the ring?
I think my biggest asset is probably I'm very calm. Like I'm usually very anxious every other day of the year, but on fight night, I become a completely different person, and I'm so unbelievably calm and very focused and clear-minded. And when I bring that into the ring, I'm really able to have like that tunnel vision. I'm seeing straight forward to my opponent, and I have that game plan just flowing through my brain, but I'm also ready to adapt on the fly. I think that ability is probably my biggest asset, besides just having skill and flair and all of those kinds of things. I think those are bonuses on top of just being calm.
Okay, you're a psychopath.
I'm a fucking psychopath. Yeah.
Every time I've ever walked into a ring, I've been terrified.
I mean, it's halfway between being super calm because you know what you're there to do, but you're also shitting your pants because you're like, you know, everything feels different in the ring, and you would know it's not the same way as it feels in sparring. The punches don't feel the same. It's very abrupt. It's very shocking when you're in the ring. But if you have that counterbalance of calm and tunnel vision, then it kind of counteracts how you're shitting your pants, and everything feels like it's never happened before. Like you've never sparred hundreds and hundreds of rounds. But yeah, I'm able to still stay very composed. And I think that's important, especially when you're fighting 4 2-minute rounds and you're sprinting. If you are, you know, following that energy of like, oh, we're sprinting, we're going, oh, and you're like super energetic and kind of, you know, frazzled, it's a poor position to be in when you're fighting such quick rounds and only 4 of them, right? So
yeah,
chill out.
Yeah, you got to settle the fuck down. I've always shit my pants, and then once I get in there, I'm fine. But my last fight was in Red Deer, Alberta, and it was for Havoc Fighting Championship, and I was terrified. Like the guy I was fighting, I knew I could beat the shit out of him. That wasn't the problem. I don't know what it was, but I was walking out and I was shitting my pants. I was like, okay, we're gonna get into a fucking fist fight. We got 4-ounce gloves on. We're gonna fuck each other up. Okay, great. And then I walked into the cage, and all of a sudden the noise just went like, and
Right.
I couldn't see outside of the cage. It looked all black, and I was like, holy fuck. And I couldn't see anybody. And it was weird. It freaked me out. I was like, okay, we're going. And then the fight was going great. And then he tie clinched me and kneed me in the nuts 3 times, and the fight was over.
From getting hit in the nuts.
Yeah, could not continue.
Fuck.
Had to go to the hospital.
Last round.
Had to go to the hospital. I really don't want to end my career on that. But
No.
I'm getting old now. I'm 38.
Snap.
But there's an old fucker that... oh, yeah, I got a couple years left, I think. There's an old fucker that fought for the Tigers on the last card. His name's Jay Bird. I fucking hate that guy. So if he wants to get it, he can fucking get it whenever he wants.
Tell him how you really feel. Shit.
Just did, Bree. Fuck him.
Louder for the people in the back.
Right? So I put that thing out and I asked people to send in questions for you, and we'll get through them now because there's a lot, and then there's a few other things I want to talk to you about. The main question I got about 50 goddamn times, and I'm not going to list every fucking guy that sent this goddamn question to me because it pissed me off every time I get it, but it was, are you single?
No, I'm not.
Perfect. Even if you were single, I would have told you to say no because all these morons would be sliding into your DMs.
I felt bad because I didn't know that you would put out like an open question thing for people. And let me tell you, I get the weirdest fucking messages, and it's always things like that and like airing on inappropriate. And I knew you would get a ton of those when you put that up.
Listen, I got so sick of getting them that I started messaging people back and telling them to go fuck themselves.
Nice. Power to you. Thanks.
There's another gentleman that his name is jmitch_78. So he's older than I am. And he's asking if you'll marry him. I'm going to say that that's a hard no.
We're gonna go with that. You know what? I get a lot of messages, and it's the weirdest shit. And I've talked about this on my Instagram before, but I always get 2 messages from men, and they're always paired together. Like they're never separated. It's, will you marry me? And this question that they ask directly after or right before is, can we spar? Can we spar? And will you marry me? I was like, I'm confused if you have, you know, some kind of fetish, or if you're just being fucking weird, or you want to, you know, throw some punches at me. But either way, those things should never go together. First of all, you should never be in my DMs asking to marry me. And second, no, we can't spar. You're going to get your fucking ass kicked. You should probably avoid that. All costs.
I always get weird when I send females messages to come on the podcast because I'm married. I've been married with the same woman for 14 years. I'm just like, I don't know if these young girls think that I'm hitting on. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
No, you make yourself very clear. It's a podcast.
Yeah.
So
I'm fairly reputable too. Like if you ask around, people know me.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have called your promoter and be like, is this guy a fucking piece of shit?
Yeah, I could have. Well, I saw that my promoter's done a podcast with you, so I was like, he's chill.
Yeah.
Tanner's
cool. Your next question comes from Coach Chris Liu. Mm-hmm. Who's your go-to sports massage therapist?
Wow.
I feel like that's a cheap plug.
Chris is my massage therapist, so he's trying to get the plug. I'm luckily sponsored in Calgary by it's Chiro, Physio, and Massage. It's called Dynamic YYC. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they're the best sponsor. They take care of me. I'm with them all the time, and they keep my body going so that I can continue to perform week on week on week when training camp's grueling. So Chris, shout out to you, massage therapist. He does a good job with cups. He digs his elbow into my quad constantly.
Chris, you owe me $250 now because we don't give away free advertising on this show.
Send him the invoice.
Next question comes from Wick.wire. Advice for dads who want to encourage and build up their daughter's confidence.
That's a good question. I guess it depends on the age of your daughter, but building confidence, I will always say that sport is amazing for building confidence, especially just sports where it's just you're not on a team. Individual sports like boxing, Muay Thai, I guess that's all I know. The only 2 things I know. I built so much confidence through the years playing sports, but I never built as much confidence in team sports as I have being an individual athlete in Muay Thai and in boxing. And obviously it helps to be in a good gym with good teammates around you. But I was able to build so much confidence knowing that I could do it myself, that I would say sport is probably the best way to go to build your daughter's confidence. Just let her build it herself, but give her the avenue to build it.
You kind of have to lead kids to on the right path to go do things and let them figure it out themselves.
Exactly. Because there's no confidence in knowing that somebody is holding your hand while you're doing it.
No.
You need to be held at the beginning and then let go, and then you can figure things out for yourself.
Exactly.
And that's how
do you know what the word meskin means? MESKIN?
No.
Okay, some dude, Lonzo_THX. Would you ever date a Mexican fighter like me? Dude, I don't know what the fuck that means.
I'm going to assume he can't spell Mexican.
Oh, maybe.
I think so.
Hey, bro, you're not getting the date that way. Go back to school.
No, especially, like, if there's no good grammar and obviously misspelled words, there's no reply coming. Ever.
Fuck you, Lonzo. Next question. How is training going during COVID times?
Well, it's been interesting. It's been back and forth with trying to make things work, being able to be in the gym, not being able to be in the gym, doing workouts in a 540 square foot apartment. So it's definitely been difficult, but there's always a way around it. There's always a way to get in some kind of work. And there's always things that I can work on specifically because, I mean, I haven't been in boxing long. So those fundamentals, I can work on fundamentals in the middle of the street. I can go running. I can work on my conditioning on my own. I don't need to be in a gym. I don't need to have a punching bag in front of me. I can make these things work during those times. But luckily, on and off with Alberta COVID times, I've been able to go in the gym, then not being able to go in the gym. And I would just keep to the routine. I would never stop. I would go in. If I can use equipment, great. If I can't, well, then I'm going to get the work in on my own. So I guess it just also takes consistency and persistence and just being determined to stay on track. That's probably fuck COVID. Just be consistent.
Combat sports is fun because you can kind of do it wherever the hell you want. You go to a basketball court and hang up a bag. You can go to the park and have a friend hold pads for you. You can do it in your basement. You can do it in your living room. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. There's no excuse.
There really is. Like, there's a goddamn street outside. You can fucking run on it.
Exactly.
So
get out for it.
See, people, get off your fucking ass. Stop being lazy.
Right? They're like, oh, I can't fight because COVID, or I can't train. It's like, you can. You just have to be willing to be uncomfortable to do it.
Well, it's a thing with drive too. It's a lot of these people like to just go into a gym, get their work done, and leave and go home. Now that's been taken away from them, and they don't have an imagination and figure out how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
exactly.
Watch less TV, people.
I can do that too, but I still train.
Next question is from Frankie T. What made you transition from Muay Thai to Western boxing?
Great question. I get this one a lot, actually. So I've stopped Muay Thai probably over 3 or 4 years ago. So I was just out of high school when I stopped Muay Thai. I ended up going to school to be a paramedic, and I was working a lot, working full time. So I kind of fell off track with, my competitive side of being an athlete. And after a couple of years of that bullshit, I kind of just looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you're in your prime years and you obviously have talent and you have drive and you have ambitions. Why are you wasting your life working a full-time job when you should be following that dream of being a professional athlete? And I didn't want to go pro in Muay Thai because this is kind of from a business perspective. There's not a huge market to be a pro Muay Thai fighter for a female, and there's not a lot of money to be made. And if I'm being smart and intelligent and thinking about my future, I want to go the route that I can follow the same passions, go for the same dream, but just, make it a little bit more financially secure for myself. So that's one of the reasons that I went into professional boxing. One, because the market is unsaturated. There's not a lot of female boxers and female pro boxers, especially in my weight class around the world. So that was one thing, making more money in pro boxing. it was as much of a personal decision to go pro in boxing as it was a financial and professional decision and a business decision.
Did you have a back problem too?
Oh yeah. I don't know if I was, just going really hard or if I didn't have the right fundamentals to take care of myself at the time, but I think it was when I was maybe 16 or 17 during Muay Thai training. I slipped my disc, my L5S1, and just had like nerve pain down my legs and had to do a lot of rehab for that to get myself back to even like being able to squat or being able to walk without pain. But I've never had a problem with that ever since. Never had a problem with my discs. So I definitely put a lot of time into my mobility, my rehab, my recovery, and I just learned how to move my body in a smarter way so that shit like that doesn't happen again.
Well, throwing kicks isn't exactly something that the human body is made to do, especially with the force that Muay Thai kickboxers do. So if people go and look like at guys like John Wayne Parr that have had hip replacement surgery, that's solely from throwing kicks.
Yeah. What do you expect? And the way that he throws them,
yeah,
any Muay Thai fighter throws them, it's kind of just waiting to happen after that much repetition, that much accumulation. So, I mean, that would have been me years and years down the road doing the same thing.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
The next question you pretty well answered. It was how did you choose to start boxing? I'll throw one in there. Did you ever consider going to MMA?
Also a really good question. During my entire childhood, like my whole family was obsessed with UFC, watched it on the couch with my dad and my brothers. I have 2 older brothers. And we would always be like, okay, we're going to, replicate this, pull the cushions off the couch and just start going at each other. And I'm a little white blonde girl and my brothers were sizably larger than I was. And we would just put each other in chokeholds. We would grab each other's legs, twist things. And it always ended up in me like screaming and going and crying. And me watching, people put people into different positions and like pop their shoulder out or like Anderson Silva breaking his leg in half. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, I never want someone to grab my limbs, twist them, pop them out, or like have things shatter in half in a fight. So the answer is no. I would opt away from MMA because I get super cringy about things popping and getting contorted the wrong way.
MMA is a tough sport too because you got to have multiple different coaches and train in multiple different disciplines and be good at all of them.
Exactly. So I would be good at boxing, but then if somebody tries to, take me down, I did wrestling when I was younger, but I'm not at the stage of being so good at wrestling as I am in boxing. Yeah. So easily, like I would have to box the socks off of somebody to ensure that they don't take me down or put me in a lock. So hell no.
You'd have to have really good hips and be able to sprawl and hip on people. That would and not get taken down.
My hips are the worst thing in my body. So
next question. This guy's got the biggest douchebag name on Instagram of all time, but I'm sure he's a fantastic human being. Ferrari_Fitboy901.
He's so nice.
Is he? I don't know him, but do you know him?
I know him. Yeah.
What's his real name?
Oh, that's a good question. I can't remember. He's from the US, I think.
Okay. I'm sure he's a fantastic person, but dude, you got to change your Instagram handle. It's fucking douchey. What are your long-term goals for boxing?
Well, I wouldn't be in boxing if I didn't have any real big goals. I always, in any area of my life, want to be reaching for the highest level. And in boxing, it's the exact same thing. Like, I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't think that I could get to the top level, and that's winning world championships, and that's plural. I think that I can get all the way to the top, and I'll work for it. I'll put everything on the line to achieve and achieve and achieve. But boxing is not going to be the only thing that I am. There's lots of other things that I want to pursue in my life, and I'm not just an athlete, but it is definitely a great platform and a great career to put a lot of time into. And it's been a dream of mine since I was a young kid. So we're going to go all the way to the top, and we're going to keep working and working and working until I've got belts around my waist.
World champion.
Absolutely.
Next question is from some of these names are funny, man. Alberta Trout Hunter.
Nice.
What was the transition from kickboxing to boxing like?
I still think I do, and also my coaches think I do. I do fight kind of with a Muay Thai style within what I've transitioned to in boxing. Sometimes it's really difficult to sit into my legs instead of standing really tall and square to my opponent. So I've done a lot of work on making my stance a little more applicable for boxing, making myself a smaller target. I feel like it's actually a lot easier in boxing for me to obviously I've put myself in a stance where I can let my hands go. In Muay Thai, you're always waiting for a kick. You're always, bracing or turned in a certain way. So the hands never really go off. Now that I can just focus on that, it's so much easier for me to sit down and slug and get power off. I've never had an urge to kick someone in boxing, which is fantastic. That was a thing that I thought would happen transitioning from Muay Thai to boxing. But other than that, I guess it's just your strategy is the biggest thing, is trying not to act like kicks are being thrown or acting like I'm going to be in the clinch. I have to change my mindset to know, work from different ranges. Don't just try to be, mid-range for kicks and things like that. So there's been a lot of changes, but I think I've made a pretty smooth transition.
Your last fight I watched, I thought you had your hand skills were very good, and your combinations were coming together very nicely, and you move very well. The biggest thing I noticed is that you're very stiff.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that this fight, that I'm going to see you loosen up a little bit and be able to just, and I'm glad that you could admit it and not just yell at me. But,
oh, yeah.
But
absolutely.
That was the biggest thing I noticed, is that you were very stiff, and I was like, it's a Muay Thai thing, though. Like if anybody goes and watch a Muay Thai fight, they're very stiff all the time. Their hands don't move. They're up.
Yeah, exactly. Head doesn't move. It never moves. Just stays straight on the swivel.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see this fight and see what transitions you've made to become a professional boxer. It's fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Next question, Nick.Johnston.58. Does your transition from Muay Thai to boxing give you an edge over pure boxers, and how?
That's actually a really good question.
You better answer yes.
I think it does to a certain extent. It also can hinder me in the same ways that I just talked about, in terms of being rigid, being stiff, being square to my opponent. But I also think that I have way better moving hips, and my posterior chain is that much better than most pure boxers. So I'm able to, move better with my feet. My feet move fantastically for a boxer. And I have a strong posterior chain, which actually puts a lot of power into my punches that most pure boxers don't have. And I think those are the two biggest things. Other than that, I just am rigid as fuck from being a Muay Thai fighter.
It is what it is. I think that you coming over from a different sport to boxing, you're going to be able to throw punches at different angles that most traditional boxers will not be ready for.
Right.
So
angle in Muay Thai for creating space for kicks and knees, and obviously you get in the clinch and you spin. Exactly. You don't spin as much in boxing before you get broken up. So there's always been a need for angles in Muay Thai, and I've noticed, especially people with my record, females with my record, there's not a lot of footwork. There's not a lot of angles. It's very much stand in front of each other and maybe work in a straight line forward and backwards, but that's about it.
I think your biggest advantage coming over from Muay Thai is going to be clinch work. You're prepared for it. You're better. You're going to be better than everybody else on the planet at it in boxing, especially if you're backed up in a corner and you're able to clinch. You'll be able to turn these ladies much easier than they're going to be able to turn you. So just stop being so stiff and we'll be fine.
And then just get in the clinch.
Clinch them up, tire them out. It's going to play a big factor when you get into 10-round fights. If you're able to gas these girls out in the first 4 rounds and then fucking knock the shit out of them in the 5th and the 6th,
Go for it.
Golden. Next question is Sean Davidoff.
Nice.
Who takes your awesome photos? Kidding. How many fights are you wanting this year?
I want to get in at least 4, but I'm also, I mean, I've been on the shelf for quite a long time, so I'm also game to fight, 4 to 6 times. And that also comes down to the fact that because I have a record of 2-0, I'm going to be fighting people with smaller records, maybe a little less experienced. And I feel like I can recover pretty well between those fights and blast through it. So I'm thinking that getting some volume in this year will be a good approach. Maybe next year it'll slow down a bit, but I also think that I can just go on a tear these next 2 years.
Next question is from Swayze DNB. Does Enzo like chicken or cheese more?
Enzo, where are you, bro? Enzo is actually weird. He doesn't have any interest towards human food. So I'm assuming that he likes chicken more because some of his food is chicken, but he won't fuck with cheese. Like, I'll put cheese on the counter, he'll lick it, but he will not eat it. So chicken.
This is the cat.
This is my cat.
Okay.
Yeah. My fat.
Obviously, this person knows you.
Yeah. Everyone knows my cat. He's iconic.
Okay. Last question comes from Chris Howling.
Oh, nice. Cousin.
That's your
What's up?
cousin?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's your favorite family member?
Oh, shit. All right, Chris, you can have it. You can have it because you're putting me on the spot. Favorite family member, Chris.
Your dad's going to be mad. He's going to listen to this.
Okay, outside of immediate family, of my family, Chris. My dad's the best. We love Dad.
Fuck you, Chris. You're out. Dad's in.
Dad's my biggest fan. He deserves all the praise.
So that's the end of it. That was a last minute question that came in from your cousin. But that's kind of funny.
It is.
I'll give it to him. April 17th. When do you leave for Montreal then? Are they going to be quarantining you guys, keeping you in a bubble?
Yes. From what I understand, it'll be COVID protocol. We're probably going to leave the Monday before the fight, so the 12th, I believe. Mm-hmm. Don't quote me on it because I haven't had an itinerary yet. And then, yeah, we'll have COVID testing, and then we'll be in the bubble until things are negative. And then I believe we still have to be in the hotel. Then we'll fight, and then we'll head back to Calgary.
So being a female boxer, there's not a ton of people that you can probably pull inspiration from, but there is somebody that's fairly close to you, and her name's Jelena Marjanovic, who's a 8-time world champion. Do you have any feelings on her?
I actually have heard word that maybe eventually we could do like a camp together, do some sparring, which I think would be a fantastic resource for me, as well as for her. And I mean, I love the way that she, puts the pressure on. She's got a wicked left hook, and she's from Canada. So of course I support other female Canadian fighters. So yeah, she's wicked. And I guess she's fighting again soon, hey?
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of being ringside to watch her fight.
Nice.
I got to give her all the credit in the world. She's fantastic, but motherfucker, is she dirty.
Yeah.
She's so dirty.
She plays it, though. She plays it well.
So good at it. I love it. And I hope she doesn't take that as an insult because I think it's great. But she's so dirty.
Gotta have the bird's eye view, though. Right. No one else, you don't really see it too much when you're watching it on TV, but if you're right next to the ring, I assume you saw some shit.
Oh, dude, I was doing whatever. I'm doing press for my fucking show, and they put me right ringside. She throws a fucking WBA world title down in front of my face, says, "Don't let anybody steal that," and goes and beats the shit out of this girl. It was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
like putting your balls on the table.
Pretty much.
You're like, here, I gotta go do shit. I'll be right back though.
Yeah, we're friends. She's been on the show 100 times. I've gone out for dinner with her. She's an amazing person. But yeah, just like boom, here's a 12-pound gold belt. Don't let anybody steal that shit, and I'll be back to get it.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
cool,
Cool, man.
cool. No doubt. No.
So you did mention that you moved. Don't give anybody your address, but why did you move? Bigger place?
Bigger place, easier to work. Those are two of the biggest things. Bigger house for Enzo, which will be nice for him to roam around. He is fat, so he's got to do some exercise. First time he's ever been on stairs today.
Oh, wow.
Everyone give a clap for Enzo. He did stairs today, and he looked like a unit going up them.
How does he feel about it? No, he doesn't like it?
I think he enjoyed it.
Okay.
It's going to be his new exercise. I'll walk him up and down the stairs. So
now, are you living with your boyfriend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to give him any words and say, listen, be a fucking gentleman?
No, he's great. He's awesome.
Is this the soccer player still?
No, not
Okay.
anymore.
What happened to the soccer player? He's a goalie.
He's great. He's awesome. Just on separate paths. And yeah, I mean, still super good friends. We were always really good friends. So yeah, I wish him the best. And I know he wishes me the best. So we're just getting after our careers now.
Is the new guy, is he a combat sports guy, or is he just a regular dude that goes to work?
He is. He's actually in behind the scenes with us. And he works with some of the best athletes in the world. So
Okay.
He's fantastic. He's a nutritionist, strength coach.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's great to have that in your corner, right?
Yeah, especially if it lives in your house.
Right? Cook me food, help me with like weight cuts, strength and conditioning. Cool.
Now,
Nice.
Yeah, it's great. But here's something I don't normally ask women, but I'm going to ask you. You said weight cuts. Weight cuts suck. How much weight do you have to cut?
I can't even say weight cut, Tanner. You know what? I'm a dream for a nutritionist because I typically sit like 4 or 5 pounds out from fight weight at all times. And you know what? For the longest time, I was just way too light. I'm actually too light. Like you can't sit that close to fight weight all the time because how are you making those strength gains during your camp? How are you, putting that much volume on your body without, injuring yourself? Because how do you recover when you're not putting enough food in and fuel for performance? And I was on a nutrition plan where I was in such a large caloric deficit for such a long time in my previous fights. And it fucked me up royally. I've got issues. This is maybe too much information, but reproductive issues. I've got issues with my period. I've got issues with my relationship with food. I was on like 1,500 calories a day training, 4 hours a day, 6 days a week, just pushing. And I royally messed myself up. So now I need to get heavier. I need to eat a lot more because I was so light and so close to fight weight and not giving myself the food that I needed. So now I'm eating, 2,400 calories, eating whatever I want really still for performance, but I'm able to splurge more than most fighters are when they're in training camp. And just trying to fix my relationship with food and fix my metabolism because I wrecked my metabolism at the same time. So yeah, I don't really weight cut. I just, eat, and then we'll do water at the end because I'll still be close to fight weight. I'll have a X amount of pounds that will just go with water. So,
okay. So what is women's bantamweight then? What's the weight?
Bantamweight is 118. Super bantam is 122.
What are you fighting at? It says bantamweight on your box rack.
Yeah. So my first fight I fought at 122, which is why my box rec shows that. And then I fought at 118 for my last one for super bantam. And then, bantam. And now I'm fighting a catch weight. I'm fighting at 120 for this one. Okay. And it's not because of me. I want to fight at 118, but my opponent can't make 118. So we're meeting 20.
118 pounds. I'd be able to pick you up by your ankle and just like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also decently short. Well, I'm not that short. I'm average size. I'm 5'5". So. No,
that's short.
Yeah, that's short.
Sure.
I need a stool to get to all of the shelves to get my food.
You're just tiny.
Yeah, so I'm tiny, but 120 catch weight. She's fought, I don't know if you know this, but she's fought Candy Wyatt. She's fought her wife, actually. She fought Jessica Camara. She fought her before they got married.
Wow.
They weren't seeing each other at the time, from what I understand, but afterwards,
maybe they were.
Yeah. They saw each other in the ring, and then they really saw each other.
Yeah.
And she's fought a couple of like the bigger sized girls. I don't know if it's lightweight or what weight she was fighting at, but Candy White, I believe, fights at like 140 something and above. So she's really either done a huge turnaround or decided that she wants to fight at a lower weight. But she still can't make 118. So it's going to be 120 for this one.
So what are you walking around at then? Like 125?
Yeah. Some days I'm like 122.
Jeez.
Some days I'm 129.
Well, you brought something up which is interesting because I've dealt with women when they're getting ready to fight and cutting weight and all that kind of stuff. And when it's that time of the month, cutting weight is a bitch because you guys retain water like a motherfucker.
Absolutely.
Like,
I don't even know when I'm going to have my period. I mean, this is also too much information, but I like to share it just for like the female listeners, because I know that a lot of us have these problems, especially in combat sports. I can have my period for a month at a time. Just all the symptoms, all the blood, month at a time. So I could easily be on my period throughout this fight camp, and then on the night as well. So maybe that's another reason why it's good to be kind of close to weight, because I don't have to, be worried about the water cut at the end. But yeah, water weight for females and having your period, sticky situation.
Not good. No, I've had girls fighting at 135 pounds. They weigh 140 2 days out. They get their period the next day and they're 145. I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. Now this is going to be fun. And getting the water to come out is a pain in the ass.
It's not simple. Your body is like, yeah, we're going to need that. Mm-hmm. So fuck off, would you? And yeah, I mean, it helps to have someone who can do those calculations for you, having the right nutritionist, sports nutritionist at that. And most females don't have that. I'm super, super lucky and grateful that I have that resource. But other females, if you're just going through your typical weight cut and you don't know exactly the calculations that you need to follow, you could be in some serious trouble missing weight.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah. I mean, for females, you never really know if that's what they went through. When you see females miss weight, you're like, oh, that's unprofessional. But it's like, oh, what if they were on their period? Like that could be exactly why they miss weight by 2 pounds. And I feel for them.
Yeah, 100%. It's terrible.
Yep.
There's other things that you're going to run into in combat sports. You're a good-looking young lady. You're going to have issues like we've already talked about online with people doing dumb shit. You're also going to have issues with media, mm-hmm. where they're going to stereotype you as a pretty girl, and she can't fight. She's just hot.
Right.
Guess what, motherfuckers? She can fight.
Yeah. I think it's actually, I mean, I take it as a confidence booster to be able to, obviously, yeah, I'm decent looking, and I want to then be able to jump in that ring and be like, hey, motherfuckers, I don't just look good. I train so goddamn hard for this, and I have talent, and this is what you should really be focusing on. Sure, I look good. This person looks good. That person looks good. Watch me fight. This is what you're here for, the boxing. I'm not here to show up and have like a sexy weigh-in and all this kind of stuff, and it's all about the press. I don't give a shit. I'm here to fight. I'm here to perform, and I'm here to go for that goal of being a world champion. That's what really matters to me. And if I look cute along the way, sure, that's a bonus.
Did you see the lady that weighed in on the weekend? She had a couple of fucking flotation devices attached to the front of her in the blue. You know what I'm talking. Yeah.
I never want to put other females down, because I mean, to each your own. If you love to feel really good at the weigh-ins, and obviously she is beautiful and she's got a great body, but it does seem like it's really about the weigh-in for her. Like she still fought great, and congrats to her for winning. And now she's got a title set up with Shannon Courtney. But yeah, it just seems like there's a big emphasis, or more of an emphasis on the weigh-in than there was on the fight.
Yeah.
So that's when it becomes a problem to me, that it's big on press. But I mean, she's also having to conduct herself as a business. And a lot of people want to work with someone who is good looking. It's good for branding if you want sponsorships. So, I mean, she is playing ball, but it's not my favorite.
It's different to me when you've got these two ladies were polar opposites. One of them can't show skin. It's part of their religion. The other one's got her fucking ass hanging out in a thong.
Yeah, it's
weird. It's weird, man. Like, you're going to get into a fist fight. Why? I get it. I'm a dude. Everybody wants to see your shit. But why do we have to see it on weigh-in day why can't you just put on a bathing suit like a normal lady?
Mm-hmm.
We got good-looking ladies that get in there. Heather Hardy.
That's who Jessica Kamara is fighting. Heather Hardy. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
You just put it in my head.
Good luck, Heather. She's a fantastic fighter, but she'll get the break speed off her on that one, I think. But Heather Hardy weighs in a one-piece bathing suit.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, man. I don't know what you weigh in. Probably a sports bra and some shorts.
Well, to be fair, I've done thong twice, but it wasn't. I think I did sports bra and thong, but I definitely didn't do the top layer of a bra and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know if I'll continue doing that with the thong or if I'll do a swimsuit this time. Haven't decided. I guess we'll see when it's game time what I want to go with. But again, like, if I ended up going to the weigh-in looking a certain way, it's not for anybody else but myself. It's for me to be like, okay, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fly coming up to the fight. And this is another confidence booster, but it's not about that. Like, the weigh-in's the weigh-in. See if I've made weight. Of course I did. And let's go on to tomorrow and get to work.
Now, if this lady had posted, I was super close to not making weight, I had to wear like the least amount of clothes possible, then I get it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Then I get it.
But that was planned. Obviously, it's color coordinated.
100%.
It was planned well ahead of time. Maybe before the fight gear was even planned out.
Let's talk about some of your sponsors. You have sponsors, right?
Yes, I do.
Perfect Sport.
Perfect Sports. I know that you love Perfect. Yeah. BCAAs, baby.
Yeah.
What, rings?
Peach rings. Yep. That's my favorite one.
Yeah, I love peach rings.
Yeah.
Perfect Sports is the best. I mean, Steve will say it too, and I'm sure he did, and I think I did watch him say it. He absolutely loves Perfect Sports. I love Perfect Sports. They take such good care of me, and it's made a big difference in this training camp. And ever since I started taking their supplements, just one for the convenience and having that all, I don't have to worry about spending hundreds of dollars on supplements. It's all taken care of for me. I've got my creatine, I've got my glutamine. I'm able to just take care of myself and recover and fuel my body the right way. And Perfect Sports does everything for me, makes it super simple. And I'm so lucky to have them.
All of their stuff tastes fantastic too.
If you had talked to me like a year and a half ago, I'd tell you that protein is shit. Like, I'm one of those people that can't drink protein because it makes me sick. It's so disgusting. But I just haven't had the right protein apparently. And Perfect Sports, like, for me to be able to drink the protein just with water without having to blend it up with something or put it with milk is huge. Like, I can easily enjoy it as well, having the protein just with water. And so many of the flavors just bang on. No problems. I'm like, God, this is good stuff.
Yeah, you can take the diesel chocolate protein and mix it with water and it tastes like chocolate milk.
Yep. That's the one that's my favorite, like, go-to with water.
Not playing. I challenge anybody to tell me any different.
I agree. Have you had pineapple mango?
100% I have.
Have you blended it with pineapples and mangoes and peaches and strawberries?
No, I'm going to.
Okay, you got to blend it up. Just water, frozen fruit, and that. Blend it. And you can make it thicker, you can make it thinner, and it's like sorbet. It's like having a dessert. It's my favorite treat.
I have all of that upstairs in my cupboard, so I'm going to do it, and in my freezer.
I better see. Need the proof, Tim.
But I'll video it. I haven't videoed a blender thing for these people in probably 2 years. I used to do it every day for them, but I'm going to do that one. Have you ever put your BCAAs in a soda stream?
No. Is that a thing?
Right here.
Izzy.
Yeah, fantastic.
Damn. Okay. All right, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good with lukewarm water, you know? Sometimes it doesn't hit right. So maybe the fizz will be nice.
The fizz is nice. I just put a reverse osmosis system in my house. So I have it going right beside my soda stream. So I fill my thing up, put it right in the soda stream, and then I dump the shit in. It's amazing.
Okay, well, I'm going to the store. I'm gonna go get my get another soda stream.
Here's another one for you. I eat a fairly strict keto diet, so I do a lot of fat stuff. So I take natural peanut butter, I melt it, and I take coconut oil, I melt that, and then I put a scoop of chocolate diesel protein. Put that in the microwave, whip it all up, and put it into tiny, like miniature cupcake tins.
Yep.
And then I drop a pecan in it with some honey on top, and I freeze them.
Oh, damn! Little fat bombs.
Little fat bombs, and they're fantastic.
Anything like if you freeze it, something about having something frozen with like peanut butter, it hits different for me. And just like how refreshing it is. Obviously, it's not that warm out here yet, but that's gonna be all summer long. Anything frozen, I'll just be like, that'll be my treat.
I'll send you the recipe.
Nice. Yeah, do it. I love peanut butter, so I'll lose it. And if I can get protein in, sure. Absolutely.
Oh, it's so good because you don't even know there's protein in it, but it's chocolatey.
That's the way to go.
It's dope. Another one is going to be chocolate diesel protein. 1 scoop into a magic bullet. A scoop of blueberries, frozen blueberries.
Okay.
1 tablespoon of natural peanut butter. And for everything else, spinach.
Okay.
And then you put ice on top, bullet that motherfucker, and away you go.
Get your micronutrients in. Damn. Yeah. Peanut butter will just take all of that spinach flavor away unless you love spinach flavor, which I do not. But but yeah, micros, just like blend them in, get the blueberries in there, antioxidants. That's fantastic. That's a good little shake.
Yeah, you want to put on weight? I'll help you out. I know how to do all that.
Give me the weight gainers. Let's do it.
Yeah, natural weight gainers. A big one is you're gonna have to go hunting.
Yeah. Need some meat.
Yeah.
I have a big appetite though. Like I can put it back. It's actually disgusting.
I feel like you could. You cuss like a trucker.
Don't tell my dad.
Your dad's gonna listen to this because I'm gonna personally send it to him.
Awesome. Perfect.
I'm really not going to do that. Let's get you the hell out of here. You just moved. You probably need a nap. Your cat's probably jealous.
I don't know where he is.
I don't know where your boyfriend is, but he's probably in the kitchen making you something to eat.
That would be preferable. I'm excited to walk downstairs, and I'm hoping that's going to happen.
If it's done, he might get his ass kicked if it doesn't. So you might want to send him a text message right now and say, "Get my fucking shit on him." So
if it's not ready by the time I'm down there, we're going to have a talking to.
Exactly. Do you have a message you want to send your opponent before we get out of here?
Be ready, because this is about to go down. I'm excited. I have respect for her getting in the ring with me, and I hope she brings it, honestly. Like, let's have a war. That's what I need that right now. I'm craving it.
All right, guys, it'll be live on punchandgrace.com. It's $11 a month. It's billed out quarterly, $33. Don't be a chump and try to illegally stream it online because you won't be able to. It's punchandgrace.com. Make sure you sign up. You'll get 3 months. You get all kinds of fun stuff on there. All the backlog of fights. If you want to watch Steve Claggett beat the crap out of the Tigers before he was signed, you can watch it on there. If you want to see Simon Keane versus Adam Braidwood, it's on there. If you want to see Simon Keane versus DJ Khaled, it's on there. If you want to see David Lemieux starch people, it's on there. punchandgrace.com. Hit them up. Guys, thank you, Bree, for coming on the show. It's fantastic. You were fun.
Thanks for having me, Tanner.
Stay on for 2 minutes after, and I'll get you out of here. But, guys, that's the final shot.